keep it in a safe place.
We're going to go with the 10-minute timer.
Sure.
So, I'll go 3, 2, 1.
Hi and welcome to the Facebook Live, all to do with e-commerce. My name is Matt and this is the astounding yet simply wonderful Beth.
Yes, I was wondering where that was going. There we are, we're live.
Can you see us? Very small.
I found us, it's okay.
Very good. So we're good to, there we go, we can see what we're like.
Yeah.
Awesome. It's important to be able to see yourself, just to want to make sure that you're live, and two, that actually, you know, you're not just talking to the...
Yeah, because we want your comments, that's what we want. We want to see your comments. So now, if anybody talks to me out there, I can see what you're saying. That's just a good thing.
That's a beautiful thing, right? So, welcome to the show. If this is your first time here, big warm welcome. Just to let you know how it works, we've got about 9 minutes and something seconds before we actually start to get into the meat and potatoes of this week's Facebook Live, which is hence the countdown you can see in the bottom left corner of your screen.
Yeah.
Everything must go. 3 things to avoid when running your next online promotion.
That's what we're talking about.
That's what we're doing?
Sale or not to sale?
That is the question.
That's the question.
That's the question mark that someone has hand drawn in, because obviously...
We weren't given a question mark, light box. Where have you got this from? We didn't send us a question mark.
We should probably review it. I'm just going to move that camera out my way. So we're all mapped out. We've got all our technology sorted out. And so, yeah, today we're talking e-commerce, promotions, sales on websites, what to do, what not to do, and why you should probably not do what you think you might think you should do. I don't know either. It's too complicated.
That is confusing.
But yeah, we're going to be talking about that today, which I'm looking forward to getting into, because actually, again, I mean, I feel like I'm a stuck record. Every week I say, this is one of these things that every e-commerce business should know about.
Yeah, this is true.
But that's why we talk about it on the show, right? It's one of these areas where everyone seems to get stuck. We've got stuck in this area. We have,
yeah. We've got a lot of stories that we can tell about where we've got stuck and where we've improved and how it's worked for us. So that's always good.
We like stories, especially Beth's stories. I'm hoping, Beth, you're going to talk more today.
Am I?
Because this is right down your street.
Is it?
Well, you're the head of marketing.
So I know a little bit about sales.
So you know a little bit about what we've done here at Jersey.
True.
I can talk about maybe what some of our clients have done, but I'll change the names so that no one knows who they are.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
let's ask a question while we're waiting.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. When was the last time we had a sale or discounted products? And when was the last time you out there had a sale or discounted products?
You're right, Josh.
As I said that, Josh
is dying in the back there. You're right, bud. You never actually meet Josh. Josh is the guy behind the camera. He's been in the vlog a few times.
The screen? No,
he won't want that. No, it's quite a bit to sit. Yeah, it's not allowed. He's quite happy to sit and die in the corner. But Josh is behind the camera making all the magic happen on the screen. So hopefully he won't die, because we need all the magic to happen on the screen, right?
Yeah, that's the only reason we don't want it to die.
Well, there are lots of reasons. Anyway, what was the question?
When was the last time we had a sale?
We had a sale.
Or you, or any of the brands, because we've got quite a few different e-commerce.
We've got quite a few cool e-commerce websites. I have no idea when was the last time we did a promotion recently, I guess. But would you call that a sale?
Well, this is the thing. Probably the last big sale, Black Friday for Jersey, do you think?
I can't remember one recently.
No.
No.
Got a few things coming up.
Yeah.
So we do weekly, like, little promotions, but in terms of big sale, there is a story as to why we kind of
Matt got told off.
Strategic about how to do those things.
Strategic. That's a fancy word for. We got really annoyed with Matt one day and decided to change how things would work in Jersey.
That's true. You actually initiated the whole.
Was it me?
Let's bring down the whole big sale thing and get people buying all the time.
Yeah, I did. I mean, I've seen this a lot. You see it a lot with businesses. Like the classic one is going to be like the sofa companies.
Yeah. You
see it all the time. This weekend only.
Yeah.
1,000,000% off, right?
Especially
it's like,
Christmas.
we'll pay you to take it out of the warehouse.
Yeah.
And get that every weekend they seem to have these sales. Every weekend. I'm going to turn my phone off so it doesn't...
Every time.
Yeah, every time. Let me just put it on Do Not Disturb. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, it's like, it's one of those things where where you see a lot of, I would never, I don't know, there's something in my psyche now which says I'm never going to pay full price for a sofa.
Yeah.
Ever. I'm always going to want a discounted price. Now, I get the psychology behind how the sofa companies do it.
Yeah.
Let's say a sofa, they're going to sell it for 600 quid. So they say the sale price is 600 quid. But in one shop, somewhere for a month, in the back corner where no one's going to go, they'll have put it on display at £1,000. So then they can say 40% off, get it for 600 quid.
Yeah.
Right? So then you feel like you're getting a bargain. That is one way to do the pricing thing. And I think that's how it's worked in the sofa world. It's how it works in the carpet world. I don't know. I'm just a bit bored with that. But unless that's your business model, in which case you might want to discount everything we're going to talk about in today's Facebook Live. Unless that's your business model, I don't know. What do you think?
What do I think? I think, yeah, stop discounting sofas. I am not a huge fan of sales. But do you want to know why? The honest truth. Why? Because I worked in a very, very popular retail store.
You did, in a clothing store that did the sales. Did
the big sales at summer and the big sales at Christmas and the let's stay till midnight and hang up fixture sales and let's stay till midnight and pick up the clothes that people had thrown on the floor sales. And I was once a part of a knitwear, like, a fight over a knitwear item in the sale. And at that point in my life...
you caused a fight?
No, I was putting things back and I walked past a couple of customers who were fighting over... One had a pram, fighting over a piece of knitwear, and that was the moment in my life when I said to myself, I don't like sales. That was it.
That was the catalyst of your hatred of sales?
Yeah. So I would much prefer getting something that's not in the sale.
So here's a question. Let's flip it the other way, right? Because I get why people have sales like a clothing store, because you've obviously got a shed load of stock which you've purchased.
Yeah.
It's the end of the season. You want to get as much cash for that stock as you can. The only way you're going to get rid of it is to discount it, right? So I have to be honest with you, when it comes to clothes, I'm a bit of a cheapskate, as you can probably tell from my cheap t-shirt. I never pay full price for anything.
Any of your clothes?
Never.
Never.
I have like a few apps of well-known stores on my phone, and when they've got the sales on, I'll go have a look.
Wow. Well, that's kind of what I do, but except I don't do the looking. I send my husband in to do it. I'm literally like,
just do it all
there's a sale in that shop. This is what I want. And then he genuinely is amazing at going, like, I have like some sort of internal dilemma where I'm like, just flashbacks of like getting hit by hangers. So he's just like, but he stays cool-headed and binds them all for me, so. Yeah. When in doubt.
Wow. When in doubt, send in Terry, best husband, if you're not entirely sure. Yeah.
Who likes sales.
So customers do like them.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, and I've seen this time and time again, when you discount and continually discount, you train customers to wait for the discounts. So you get people like me who don't pay full price for clothing. I always wait for the discount, right? Because I'm trained in that. You're going to get people who want to buy the latest thing straight away. I'm not your fashion guru. I appreciate that. So I'm quite happy to wait until it's the end of the season and buy it cheap, right? That's just me. There is one. Actually, I've just gone and purchased a shirt for the first time ever at full price.
First time ever, ever. Yeah. That is amazing.
As far as I can remember.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah. Anyway, that's another story. But the company I bought it from full price, I've never known them do a sale, which is why I've had to buy it at full price.
Right.
So they've not trained me to wait for the discounted prices and go and shop then. And that's the trouble with the sales, isn't it? You train customers just to wait for the bargains, and so your sales, massive amount of orders in, you've discounted your product so you're not making as much money, but then when the sale's not happening, people aren't buying. So then you're like, I've not got any customers, so I need to go have a sale.
It's a lose-lose cycle.
It's a lose-lose cycle, people.
But
you heard it here first.
We can get you out of the cycle though, and that's what we're here to do today.
That's what today's show is all about. So
we've got 3 tips, 3 things to avoid, all coming up.
3 things to avoid.
Yeah.
Excellent. Josh, how many seconds are on yours versus how many seconds are on what we see? What's that?
27.
27. Okay, so we're about 7 seconds delayed. So we see 7 seconds into the past on our Facebook screen.
It's good to know though, because I always wonder how far I am. in the past.
We often wonder the same thing.
Thanks for that.
I don't know, you opened the door, I had to walk through. Anyway, should we get ready to start the show? Because it's going to be 7 seconds.
Okay.
Hi, welcome to the Facebook Live, where we are talking about everything must go. 3 things to avoid when running your next online promotion. My name is Matt Edmundson, and this is the effervescent Beth.
Oh!
I just love it, it's great. Welcome to the show. Now, if you've not seen the show before, we talk about all things to do with e-commerce. And if you are regular, so welcome back. Great to see you. Make sure you leave your comments below. And Beth and I will try and answer your questions or respond accordingly. But today we are talking about 3 things to avoid when running your next online promotion. We're talking about sales, aren't we?
Yeah, sales. I guess, do American people call them sales?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
So, offers.
It's a universal term. Promotions, offers, sales, that kind of thing.
Sales, not snails. It
Yeah.
sounded like snails. Sales.
Why is this such an important topic for e-commerce peoples?
I think it's an important topic for any kind of retailer, whether you're e-commerce, whether you're bricks and mortar, whether you're both. Sales are a big thing, right? When do we do a sale? When do we not do a sale? If I do a sale, what prices should I set? And what's the impact going to be on my business? And blah, blah, blah. I mean, there's a lot of questions tied in with this.
Yeah.
As we were talking about before the show went live. Well, we know we were live, but before the counter went to 0.
True.
Yeah, true. So we were talking about that, weren't we, beforehand, about how you can quite easily create a culture of customers who are waiting for the sale.
Yeah.
And I use a classic example for me, buying clothes. I always wait for the sale. I never pay full price for clothes. Because I know that at some point, whatever it is I like will be discounted.
Yeah.
So why buy it now? I can just wait a few months. I don't need the latest trends and fashions, as you can probably tell. So I may as well wait and save a few quid, right? And that's been my thinking. But I've been trained to think like that because that's the way the clothing industry works.
This is true. Definitely true. But some clothing brands are doing it really well, and maybe we'll mention that.
There are. So the one I mentioned again before the show, I've just paid. There's one company that I've been sort of following for a while. Now, granted, I've not been on their website every day, but I've been kind of following them for a while. I've never known them to have a sale. I could be wrong, but the company's called Edmundson in Maine. And shall I show you their website? Is this connected? If I pull up a website. Edmundson and... Oh, there it is, look, Maine. You watch, there'll be a website. Oh, no. I was going to say, you watch, I bet you I'll pull up the website and there'll be a sale now. So I bought a shirt off these guys. I've just had to send it back because it was the wrong size. But that's another story. But I've never known them have a sale, right? So I've not been conditioned with those guys to wait for them to discount the price.
So you buy full price?
I've had to buy it full price. It's just the way it is, right?
Clever.
So yeah, it's quite an interesting one. There is a company I'm involved with. I won't mention the name of the company, but there's a company I'm involved with where the CEO of that company basically said, this company has too much of a discount culture, right? In other words, everyone's waiting for the latest promotions and offers. He said, I'm stopping it. We've got to get the culture back to where customers pay the proper prices for products. Yeah. That's not easy to say. Proper prices for products. And so their profits from the proper prices for products would go back to where they should be, right? And so what happened was sales dipped massively. You've got to hold your nerve. Yeah. Let me tell you, he had to hold his nerve. But when the sales, they have started to go up actually, but the profit margin has gone up quite massively. Yeah. As people are getting used to the fact that actually there's not going to be a sale every other day and waiting for the latest promotions. And so that's had a positive effect on his business. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. It's a good way to do it. Even like big clothing companies, so when I used to work in retail, like we used to walk past Next at like 6 a.m. because we were going to open our shop, but they would open at 6 a.m. on the door and people queue outside that shop.
because they
It's
love
always
it.
the same, wasn't
I
it?
think they're really good at doing that because they'll only have their sale for a certain amount of time.
Yep.
It goes on at 6 a.m. And literally they've got rid of everything by like day 3.
Yeah.
It's incredible. I'm like,
And once it's gone, it's gone.
yeah. And they don't continually do it like all the time.
No. Next, I think Next do them very
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like a discount culture in the same way. I don't think it is anyway.
No.
Which is why you get people queuing up down the street when it's dark.
Well, that's the thing, right? If you do your sales right and your promotions right, you in effect create that queue, that backlog. And we're going to get into this a little bit, but you can do the same sort of thing, but online, can't you? You can create that. Second.
Like that oversubscribed book.
Oh yeah, there's oversubscribed. Here it is. Oversubscribed. But yeah, it's the same thing. You can create those queues, right? You can do it online, the online equivalent of the queues, if you do your sales right. If you do them wrong, then you do a sale. No one really cares. It's just like I'm shopping as normal.
Yeah.
Is that right, or am I wrong?
That's definitely right. Definitely right.
Phew. As long as we're on the same page, that's the main thing. Right. Where are we on the page, actually? Well,
let's get into the tips because we've talked about the problem.
okay. So, top tips.
We're going to get into the tips.
We've got 3 tips. 3 things to avoid when running
just
your
to
next
say as
online
well,
promotion.
remember, if you've ever watched these Facebook Lives before, you can always download a freebie, and the freebie is a little bit of the link / Matt Edmundson. It's just, depending on where you're watching this, it's either there or there or there or there. Anyway. And I think it's going to come in front of us as well. So just download your free bundle. It's got lots of freebies in there, like 5 e-commerce trends is a really good one. It's got actionable points about how you can like revamp your e-commerce website, make it more like Kieran. I was going to say on trend, but I've said trends twice. So.
Don't overuse.
But yeah, if you like what you hear, download that. It's free.
Yeah, great little PDF download.
Yeah.
So full of helpful hints and tips. Prepared by the lovely Beth for you wonderful people.
Wonderful. Okay, so three things to avoid when running your next online promotion. What is thing number 1?
Am I answering that question?
Yeah.
Okay. So we've obviously rehearsed this. 3 things to avoid when you run your next online promotion. Number 1 is avoid randomly timed sales.
What does that mean?
Well, I'm going to change the title. Random acts of marketing, because that's what you call them internally.
Yeah. I didn't spot that one until you pointed it out earlier. I was like, whoa, missed an opportunity to rant.
Take your opportunity now. I'm just going to sit here and listen.
Some people do what is called a random acts of marketing, and I have faced this week. And like, I think I've been part of one this week, and it really hurt.
I was going to say, did I do
it? Hurt me.
It hurt you?
Yeah, because I was like, what you should do is you should get together as a marketing team, all plan your acts of marketing, be really strategic, get everyone involved, that kind of thing. But if you don't do that, you end up doing things like over the desk, like, oh, could you just do this for me? Could you just run this sale for me? It's not smooth, it's not like done together. And it all, let me tell you, it all goes a bit pear-shaped.
Beth likes things done decently and in order. Let me tell you, it's become apparent over the years.
If you're going to do something, you might as well do it right well.
You might do it. You might as
So
absolutely.
if you're going to do a sale, avoid random acts of sales and schedule your scales. Schedule your sales and do a pre-sale. So if you all sit together as a team of marketing people in your e-commerce team, and you're like, okay, we're going to do a sale. What should the sale be? You get all your ideas together, you do a little brainstorm, and then you tell your customers before the sale happens, and you like, what's the word? Condition them.
Yep.
It's conditioning. Condition them to be like, I'm gonna have to buy something at this sale. I'm gonna have to, because I've been told for like a month now, so I'm gonna have to.
Yeah.
And they will buy, and they'll have a great time, and they'll get really great products because you thought about it and you've done it well, and you've not just gone like, oh, sale, and just kind of discarded your rubbish products. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
No one wants that.
No one wants that. So schedule well. Now, you might hear Beth talking about marketing teams and go, actually, Beth, it's just me and my little e-commerce store in my kitchen. I don't have a team. You should still schedule, right? And the principle still is the same, whether it's a marketing team.
Who talks like that?
So,
Who talks like that?
me normally. You have your set schedule, regardless of how big your team is. Now, we have found in the past, I am probably the worst culprit for this, where I would walk in. The example was Prime Day, right?
Yeah.
So Amazon did Prime Day here in the UK. I think it was the first time they did it this year. Is that right?
I've never seen it before.
I've never seen it before. So they did. I get an email from Amazon saying, "Hey Matt, this is my little."
It was on buses.
It was everywhere, right? Matt, it's Prime Day. So I'm like, I've got the email. I'm like, okay, so what am I going to do? I'm going to forward that to Beth and to Brendan and to Mark and to Michelle, the whole team. There you go. I have that email and say, hey, listen, it's Prime Day. Do you think we should do something at Jersey? What could we do? Question mark was the email that I sent. It was just a simple line. Well, that one line caused a little bit of conversation.
We all said no. No. No, send. That was basically it.
Somebody would have thought it was my company at some point, but apparently it's not anymore. No, what happened? Well, I was quite right too, because that's how we did marketing for however many years, right? Somebody would sit there and go, this is a great idea. You know, the creative ones in the room, let's do this. And so you'd frantically rush around, sort out that promotion, launch it, and then you'd sit there and go, right, what should be our next promotion?
Yeah.
And just waiting for the creative genius to hit, oh, right, let's do this one. And it was really, really hard work, right?
It was very spiky. Like, do you know what I mean by that?
I do. Maybe you should explain it a little bit further.
So it's just spiky, so you'd have to wait until these creative geniuses came up with an idea, and then when they did, you'd go all in. But then if they didn't have an idea the next month, it'd just stop.
Yeah.
So you'd get a spike in sales and then stop, or a spike in actually people like working together.
Yeah.
And then we'd just kind of go back to ourselves.
Yeah, and so every when we'd have our monthly meetings, we go, right, what are our ideas? And you'd go, oh, it's a bit flat, it's a bit boring, but I can't think of anything else. We're just going to have to do that. And so
yeah, we did that as well.
it was hard work.
I blanked those out, yeah.
Yeah, those dark days blanked out. So the problem with that, we call them now random acts of marketing. So for example, me sending an email going, it's Prime Day, let's do something, is a random act of marketing because it causes utter chaos in the marketing department, i.e. with Beth and the team. And they're just like rushing around, but they've got all these other things that we need to be doing because these are scheduled in, right? These are campaigns that we know we're doing and we know we're going to do them well. But as soon as we come in with these random acts of marketing, it takes you off of those. Now, don't get me wrong, there does need to be some room for spontaneity.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying we've totally lost that, but
No.
80% of our marketing is now scheduled and programmed in. So when we do sales, which we rarely do, but when we do them, they are well scheduled in, right?
Yeah, and it stops people from being like, oh, I'm going to wait until my beauty product goes on sale and that's when I'm going to buy it. Because if it doesn't go on sale, you might think, oh, I'm going to lose customers, but actually people are prepared to buy stuff that's good. So it's kind of stopped that, oh yeah, I'm only going to buy it when this happens.
Yeah.
And then people start to buy from us for different reasons, for different things that we're doing, different marketing things.
Exactly. And we've changed the culture, haven't we?
That is what
it's
you want.
taken us a little while. We've changed the culture, but the benefit is the sales steadily grow, our profit margins are much higher, so we can afford to stay in business, which is an important thing if you want to be in business, staying in business. And so, you know, the benefits are all round, right? So plan your marketing, plan your sales, avoid the random acts of marketing. You will hear us use this phrase time and time again.
Yeah.
But the important point that I want to pick up on that you mentioned was to do the pre-sales phase. What sort of things have we done?
So we did last year for Black Friday. I don't know what you call it, even though I've been talking about it today. Referral scheme system thing. So where people could sign up and basically enter their email and they could win different kinds of products, and it kind of warmed them up to expect Black Friday to come. They knew that Black Friday was going to come at the end of it, and also they knew that if they signed up, they would actually get the Black Friday offers first. so they would get them before anybody else would.
Yeah.
So they were kind of like conditioned to think, this really exciting thing is coming, I'm going to start saving my little points or whatever it was to get my prizes. And then also I'm going to be the first one, like it gives them sort of VIP mindset, like I'm going to be the first one to see these sales. So
yeah, it was great.
And you can do that. You don't have to do a referral system. You can do that in so many other ways, like pre-sale emails, or just like you could even do like little Facebook lives, just being like, this is coming, you know, like countdowns, this kind of thing. You
countdowns on the website would be great.
Coming.
Yeah, all that
tell
sort
them
of
it's
technology.
happening.
And it's all coming that way. Get people excited about the fact that it's going to come. So when it hits, it's not, like you say, it's not a surprise. Everybody knows it's going to hit. So we talked about Next earlier. That's what they do. You know at 6 a.m. on this date their sale is going to start.
Yeah, and people know.
And people know, and they queue, right?
It's crazy.
It's bonkers. But I mean, but then you look at someone like Apple. Apple do the same thing when a new product is launched, but they never discount it. They still create that intense demand for people to queue around the block.
Yeah, it's got a word.
Yeah.
It's got a word that I can write, but I'm not sure I can say. You know, that scarcity.
Scarcity.
That one. Scarcity. If you're going to do a sale, you've got to have that thing.
Scarcity. Yeah, absolutely. So you've got to say, you know, this is only going to be so many of them, you know, hurry while stocks last. These are all phrases that people use to create that sense of urgency.
But mean it. Don't be like, this is, stock's going to last or whatever every 2 weeks, because it's just like, we know that is not the truth. Like, that's when you're conditioning people to wait for a sale. But
that's true. Actually, when you've sold out of an item, let's say you've only got a small amount of stock, don't use that as a way to, when you've got shed loads of stock, you know, only a small amount of stock, because I think after a while people need to see that it's sold out. So if you've got a 3-day sale and it's like small amount of stock and it's said that for 3 days, I'm gonna look at that and go, no one's bought it. Yeah. Right? Whereas if I go in the store and it says small amount of stock and then 4 hours later it's actually out of stock, then I know you're serious about all the other products, right? So then I'm more inclined to take that into account. So don't try and use words to trick people to buy. Be genuine and let people know when things are out of stock. Actually, it's one of the greatest ways to sell a product is to tell people that they can't have it. Yeah. Right. So do that. Tell them it's out of stock. You know, more coming soon. Sign up here and we'll let you know when it's in stock. But oh, by the way, you're gonna have to pay full price or whatever. So.
Definitely. So have you ever used a pre-sale before? That is what we want to know. Put your questions and comments in the comments box, wherever it may be around my head. We want to know. Cool. What's tip number 2? So avoid number 2. It's not a tip number 2.
Things to avoid.
Thing to avoid number 2.
Thing to avoid number 2 is avoid generic sales - personalise.
Personalise.
What do we mean by that?
We mean 2 things really, because Amazon Prime Day, which we just talked about a minute ago, was their day. They just made up a day and they went with it. It was completely about them, just like kind of, this is what we're going to do. They didn't wait till Christmas, they didn't wait till Black Friday. I don't even think it was near Easter or anything. It was just like
just in the middle of summer. Gonna
just do it. because they could. You can do that too if you do the pre-sales bit that we've just talked about. Yeah. There's also the other way to personalise is like personalise your sales. Actually, only send it to a few people. So if it's a product that you know certain people are buying, you can just email them and discount a product and just email them with a discount.
Send the right product information to the right person at the right time. The 3 rights.
That thing.
So what do you think then about Amazon doing like Prime Day, and what are we gonna do, or what have we done with that idea?
Well, we thought about it and we looked at it and we thought, instead of being like, we're just gonna get on the back of their Prime Day, which might be a good idea, I don't know, we've not thought about it, we thought, well, we could have days like that. We could do that. We could be
the equivalent of our own Prime Day.
We could have Jersey Day, or like actually I talked about because I'm a queen of content, there's my title, I decided I needed 2 birthdays, so I thought we could just celebrate my 2nd birthday. But like, why not? Do you know what I mean? As long as it's got a fun story, people will buy. People would be interested to know that.
Have we done that yet?
No, but
we
should.
totally need to do that. That's the email that's going to go out. Best birthday.
Every queen needs 2 birthdays. Happy second best birthday. Here's a free gift.
Wow.
You can steal that. That's for free.
Yeah. Celebrate your best. When is your second birthday?
Don't know.
No,
Decided
we don't decide.
soon, I think.
It's been a while since the other one. I just need another one. But I mean, that's cool, right? So we've thought about, obviously, we can next year in our campaigns, we could do something on Prime Day. That's right, yeah. But this idea of the Jersey Day, the Happy Remarkable Day, or whatever it was we were talking about, that's a really fascinating idea, right? Where you have these sort of individual, personalised to you, sort of one-off events. And that's great if you've got customers that know you, if you've got a lot of repeat customers, good customer database, and they can get drawn into that and help you promote it.
Yeah.
That's quite a cool way to involve them, and it's very, you know, your competitors aren't going to do that. That's just you, right? And you've taken something generic like a sale, but you've made it a bit more fun and connected to you and your values by personalising it. With the Jersey Day, or whatever your equivalent is, the Queen Day, the Queen's Day, Queen's birthday.
But you could do anything. You could just be like, oh, we're just going to celebrate this. You could even celebrate the Christmas. Like, do you know what? It's your birthday, so we're going to have a sale on your favourite product.
Ooh.
Crazy things.
Yeah, that doesn't work if you've got a customer who's got customers who've got birthdays on every day of the year. I think you'd have an all-round year.
No, but just for theirs.
Oh, okay.
Just for
their own personal sale.
Their own personal sale. Why not?
That is very personalised. Just because it's your birthday, you've got your own personalised sale. Log in. You will see your special birthday prices.
Who've got like really small companies in comparison to Amazon, and who would just put off.
I think it'd be a really. Has anyone ever done that? I don't know. I think that'd be a really interesting idea. Your birthday sale.
Yeah.
Well, when you log on.
People give me emails when it's my birthday.
Yeah, but you see, now here's the thing, right? You could send an email to someone. So it's your birthday, right? And so Jersey sends you an email going, "Hey Beth, happy birthday. Here's a coupon, right? Code you can use, like birthday present." And save 10% on your purchase or something like that. Yeah. Which is quick and it's easy, it's personal, you remembered it's their birthday. But I've never been to a website where they go, "Hey, Beth, it's your birthday. Log on to the website and see your own birthday sale."
How cool would that be then?
How cool would that be? And you totally make out the website like it's a full-on sale, right? And you don't just call it company sale, you say Beth's Jersey sale or whatever we would call it. Come up with some type where it's personalised and balloons and streamers and celebrate, and you just go to town on it, and so whenever they log on, that's how the website looks. They can't actually, it's not like a coupon where you can forget to put the code in or whatever. It's like, no, everything on the site is totally discounted, and we're going to show you your favourite product, and that's going to be on sale when you're logged on. I like that idea. I
like it a lot. I don't think our web technical king of all things technical will like that idea as much as we do. But if you're watching, I'm sorry.
That's the way it works, right? This is how we get inspiration, folks. You've seen it here. So we need to write this down, and we'll put that on the development list for some time next year.
Definitely.
I like that, the birthday sale. That's kind of cool.
Okay, thing to avoid number 3. So we've had avoid randomly timed sales, avoid generic sales, make sure you personalise your sales, and...
Number 3, avoid outdoing competition. So yeah, don't fret when your competitors have a better sale than you do, or even have a sale when you don't.
Because the goal is to not outdo your competition. It is to get repeat customers, get like regular income. I forgot the word. I keep forgetting the words. It's not to just be like, Amazon are doing it, so I'm doing it. You need a better reason than that.
You've been told, right? You've been told. And this is quite, I think this is quite a scary one, because a lot of people will see their competitors doing sales, and what do you do when they're doing a sale, but your sales are taking a hit because of it? Yeah. So you can see why people respond and go, we have to have a sale as well, because we've got to get our customers back. And I think actually there's there's an argument for and against it, and you kind of have to weigh up the process for yourself. Our argument basically here is you don't do a sale just because you need to outdo your competition, right? No. It doesn't work. Do it according to you, what works for you. Plan it according to what works for you. You know, don't ignore your competition, but don't let them dictate what it is that you're doing. You be the leader. You drive it, right?
Yeah.
And so, again, I've seen it time and time again where, you know, where e-commerce site owners, they're panicking because their competitors, they've got this same product, you know, this thing here, and it's discounted at 50% on their site. We're not selling any today. Well, you know what? The sale will be over tomorrow. And so, and you'll, you know, customers will start cracking back on with you, and they'll have sold them and made a little profit, got a few customers. But hey, we're going to do our thing, we're going to crack on. It takes bravery, I think, to do something like that.
Definitely. And sales, you can actually, you don't, the goal of a sale doesn't have to be because I want to, because Amazon are doing it, or because I want to increase the amount of sales on your website. You could set a sale to get new customers, like a specific sale for new customers, and just think about your goal. It doesn't have to be, oh, because they're doing it, or because I'm scared because we're not making enough profit. It can be more strategic. Think more strategic than that.
Strategic always works better.
Get your strategic head on.
Yeah. And so you can focus things much more clearly on one specific area. And when you do that, you always have a better outcome, right? And it's it is the way it is. So yeah, don't be in a rush just because somebody somewhere's having a sale that you feel the need to go and do it. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm just saying don't be in a rush to do it. Think it through. Be strategic. And don't respond just because you feel like, oh, I can't be outdone by my competitors this week.
A lot of people have summer sales like this time of year. And I do wonder, like, no one buys in August anyway.
Everyone's on holiday, which is why they have the summer sales.
Try and make them buy, but then it's like, are they really making profit? Like,
that's why you have the January sales, isn't it? You have your summer sales and you have your January sales, because in January no one's buying anything because no one's got any money following Christmas.
Yeah.
Right? And so people feel like, well, if I discount products now, I might encourage more people to buy. You're cutting your profit margins to try and get those sales. And again, you have to weigh that up in terms of your own stock rotation and stuff like that. Is that something you've got to do? For us, I would generally say it isn't, although we do promotions in January.
Yeah.
But we don't do like the January. We've never done the January. Maybe we should think about it, but we've never actually done the January sale. The main one we focus on is Black Friday, isn't it?
Yeah. That's a good one.
Yeah.
But then you don't have to do Black Friday either. You could think about.
Well, Tradecraft, right, which is it's a company that I'm involved with. Tradecraft, they're brilliant. Fair trade company. They have something called Just Friday. So they looked at Black Friday and they said, you know what, nick us to it. We're not getting involved with it. Partly for moral and ethical reasons, but partly because actually it was just, they wanted to come in the opposite spirit.
Yeah.
And so they had something called Just Friday, which was all about fair trade and, you know, not trying to screw everybody in the third world out of the money and all that sort of stuff. And you know what? It has worked super well. The media picked it up because they were the one company coming in the opposite spirit.
That's good.
So I'll show you their website. Shall I show you their website?
Well done, Tradecraft. What were you going to draw?
Craft. I have no idea. I was just like, you know what, we could. I just felt like I needed a pen today, just in case we did. So this is their current website. Little heads up. It is being massively redeveloped. I have seen the new developed websites, a million times better than this, but this is.
Those balls there.
Oh yeah, lovely. Some of the stuff they do. But if you look on there and just look up their Just Friday, they even had a hashtag Just Friday. So just look up that hashtag and follow what they did. So you can do this thing where you can say, right, well, my competitor's doing something like Black Friday. How can I come in the opposite spirit? Maybe not with sales, but maybe talking to people on a values basis, which is what Tradecraft did. So they came on a values basis. And that's still, for Tradecraft, some of their most successful campaigns.
I can see why. I like it.
Very clever idea. So, yeah. Does that answer all the questions?
Let's
summarise. So, 3 things to avoid when running your next online promotion. Number 1, avoid random acts of marketing or randomly timed sales. In other words, don't just keep throwing things in and getting all that creative genius. Plan and schedule. Keep Beth happy. WWBD. What would Beth do? Number 2.
I don't think that's going to catch you.
It's going to start trending. Hashtag WWBD. Avoid generic sales. Personalize it as much as you can. You know, it's great. Personalize it to you. Personalize it to the customers. Generic's just bland, boring. Yeah. And the third thing we said was avoid outdoing competition just for the sake of trying to outdo competition, right? Yeah, be unique, be you, think of some things, and maybe like Tradecraft, come in the opposite spirit on certain campaigns.
Yeah. So we want to know, did those tips help you? If you learned anything new today, if you've got any questions, put your questions in the comments, or anything that you think in the comments. Let us know if we helped you. You could just put yes in the comments. That would be great. Just tell us that we helped you. That would be thumbs up and happy.
Banana.
Top banana. And don't forget that you can download a freebie. It's just a little bit.ly link / Matt Edmundson. You'll see it somewhere around here. And and you can download. It's got 5 latest e-commerce trends, top 7 steps we took in e-commerce business, 10 essential elements of a happy website, and the 3-step hiring checklist. So that's got all bases covered in terms of your e-commerce business.
It is, and the hiring checklist I think is quite a good one.
Yeah.
Just because when you build your team, it is super critical to get that right. Although I won't get into that now because that's a different Facebook Live. I was just about to say that's a different podcast, but that's a different medium. This is Facebook Live. You know, we do vlogs, we do blogs, we do podcasts, we do Facebook Live. Sometimes I get them mixed up.
Fair dues. That's absolutely fine. Okay, so we're going to answer a few questions before we go. So how can I pre-sell well? We kind of mentioned this.
We have mentioned this. How do I pre-sell well? The way I see it, the way I see Beth doing it, is we do that a lot with email. Mm-hmm. So we'll write a lot of emails saying that sales are coming up, and not just one, maybe an email sequence.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Highlighting a different aspect of that sale item, and if you've got videos or Facebook Live to throw in those emails as well, that's kind of cool. We definitely do Facebook Live. We let people know stuff is coming on Facebook Live. You could even say, if you get good engagement with Facebook Live, like we do with Jersey, for example, you could even go on Facebook Live and say, hey, we're going to do this sale. What do you want to see in there? And get your audience involved. Get them having that conversation. You know, the products with the most votes will become the best-selling item. You know,
we just come up with loads of really
do you like that
crazy good ideas in this Facebook Live.
We should do these more often.
Live. Sale brainstorm. Yeah. Get your sale ideas.
So you get your sale ideas here. So you could do something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's a good idea.
Using social media, surveys, email, and of course on the website, banners just on the website saying sale coming, such and such. And you can now get them. In fact, we have them on our website, but you can get these countdown timers that count down by the second. Yeah. And so if you want, you could put something like that. So whenever someone comes to your website, they can see the countdown timer is going down, which I think those kind of things work really well for that kind of thing.
Send them in emails. Then it's like when there's only a few hours left. Send it in an email.
Yeah, clever idea.
Clever. Mm-hmm. Okay, so when are the best times of the year to launch a sale?
Ooh, I would say that is going to be very dependent on you and your industry. I appreciate that sounds like a bit of a cop-out, but it really does, right? Because different industries have different sales at different times of the year. You could do something in the standard sales times, like Black Friday, you know, the January sales and maybe the summer sales, which are the more common ones. Mm-hmm. But, you know, what does your industry do? For example, the car industry has slightly different sales times depending in the UK, depending on when the new licensing, you know, when every year the license plates change, the registration plates on cars in the UK. And so you might want the latest registration plate on your car, so you'll be willing to pay more. But the week or two before the new registration comes out,
I never knew that.
Dealers never sell cars, and so that's when they'll do the sales, right? Mm. So that's more of an industry-specific sale item. Mm. So you have to understand when your industry are, when generic ones are, and then you just, you know, be like Beth in terms of, I just want to do a sale here. Why? Because I just want to. It's my second birthday. I'm allowed to. I'm the queen. I can do whatever it is I like. So you could also take that approach.
Yeah, do it.
But don't have too many of them. I think if you whatever you choose, You know, whatever works for you. And we have tested Christmas sales, New Year's sales, Black Friday sales, Easter sales, Mother's Day sales.
Yeah.
We have tried summer sales. We know what works for us and what the best times of year are in terms of engagement with the sale. So that's when we stick to that, right?
Yeah.
We've monitored the results and that's when we do it. So whenever you do a sale, test it, test the products, test the ideas, test the timing. And then over a period of time, you are quickly going to find out what is going to work super, super well for you.
Mm-hmm. So,
is there anything you want to add into that?
Yeah, it's the last question is it a good idea to have a sale on Black Friday? Is it a good idea to have a sale on Black Friday?
Again, if you're Jersey,
same answer.
Yes. If you're Tradecraft, no.
Mm-hmm.
So there is. I don't think it's just a straightforward black and white answer. I think there's a lot of things that you have to think about, rather than just saying yes or no. I would say 90% of businesses gear up now to sell products at a discount on Black Friday.
Yeah.
And so customers in November don't buy anything until Black Friday.
Yeah.
Right, it's just the way it is.
Sometimes.
And then it is sad, and I appreciate in some respects we're adding to it. I sort of want to come in the opposite spirit a little bit to Black Friday. We did do the thing, do you remember one year when we tried it, where it was like, you know what, let's do what Amazon do and put a timer on here and say this offer is valid for the next 30 minutes. And it was awful because you're just perpetuating that kind of, I've just got to grab anything that I need just because, coming back to your scarcity concept and idea, the idea that people can fight over a TV in the middle of a supermarket.
Yeah, we don't want people to fight.
It's not that's not what I want to be associated with.
Yeah. Scarcity in the terms of this is not going to be forever, but not in the way of you have to fight for it. Don't add the fuel to the fire.
So I think it's got to fit right with you and your values. So Tradecraft didn't want anything to do with that. It's the complete opposite of what their company is all about, right? And so their marketing campaign, their Just Friday marketing campaign, which I think is brilliant, got in the national press because it was just completely in the opposite spirit. So they're like, we don't necessarily want to do a sale here. We don't want to fall into that trap. We don't want to promote that because it's not who we are as a company. But this is, and this is how it could work. So you could do something on Black Friday, even if you didn't want to get involved in the Black Friday sales, because there are a lot of people online shopping and looking around at that point. So you definitely need to be drawing people to your site and engaging them as somehow.
I think that's great. Great answer. Absolutely fabulous. What's happening next week, Matt?
I have absolutely no idea.
We're not here.
Oh, that's right. That's why I don't know what's going on.
I will be in Africa.
It was a trick question.
And you will be in Jersey.
I'm on the island of Jersey. You are on the island of Africa.
Yeah.
The continent of Africa.
Uh-huh.
Yours sounds much more exciting than mine.
Yeah. This is a rare thing, so I'm just going to say yeah.
Yeah. And I'm quite enjoying that. If I'm honest, I'm going to sit here nice and smug.
So we will be back the first week in September, which is the 6th of September, which is my wedding anniversary. Which is why I know that. I was quite impressed with myself. I was like, why do I know that that's the day? But it is. How cool is that? Actually,
so make sure you send a note.
I even know what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about competition, which we've talked a little bit about today, but how to actually use your competition to your advantage and how to see it.
As in use your competitors.
Competitors, that thing,
yeah. As in, you're not talking about doing competitions online for your customers.
No.
You're talking about your competitors online and how to use them to your advantage.
Thing. Sorry.
I'm just clarifying.
So, how to spy on your competitors legally and really helpfully.
Okay, so you won't want to miss that on the 6th of September, which is in 2 weeks' time. We are going away on holiday. Beth is going to Africa. I'm going to Jersey. Wherever you are in the world, I hope you have a great few weeks and we will see you in September. Thanks for watching. Don't forget all your comments below.